All right, welcome back to another episode of No BS Just News with Steve. As always, I'm your host. Thanks for tuning into the best YouTube around. Just kidding. Hey, listen, if you've watched some of my past videos, I've had some horrible mic issues, so I apologize in advance for that. Hopefully this one is better. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the way it's connected. But I've got some better stuff en route, so stay tuned. Anyway, I wanted to bring you a quick topic of conversation that just is, it's horrible. It's not horrible, it just pisses me off. So those of you that follow me know I'm moving. You know, I've said it in some previous videos. I don't put a lot of my business out there, but that's what's going on. Those of you that are new here, moving. Yesterday we go get a U-Haul. Everything's good to go. We get it from like a tire shop. He owns some U-Hauls. Everything's good. He's like, hey, listen, we're closed on Sunday today, so if you want to keep it till Monday, go ahead, and I won't charge you for it. I'm like, oh, cool. That would be great. So anyway, we load the U-Haul up. Like I said, everything's going good, no issues. We get to the new house, unload it, load some stuff up, take it to my wife's uncle's house, her Theo, drop it off there, load a couple things up from that he let us use. And we were gonna go back to the new house, but we thought, you know what? Let's just go home. It's been a long day. It's not a bunch of stuff. We can rearrange it and put more stuff in it, and we'll start again this morning, today. So we literally we're coming into our neighborhood, go down the street we go. So as we're going down the street, when you turn at that stop sign, you go right, and it's just right around the corner, and there's our house, right? Our old house. We're coming up to the stop sign, and the U-Haul starts to sputter. And I'm like, no. Are we out of gas? I look at the gas gauge, it's on a quarter tank, and I'm like, there's no way. No lights on the dashboard, nothing, right? So anyway, U-Haul proceeds to just completely stall out right in front of this guy's house. So we're blocking both of his vehicles. I go up to his door, ring his Ring doorbell. Nobody answers, because really nobody answers their door anymore. I knock, and he doesn't answer. So my wife stays with the U-Haul. I run around the corner, go grab my car, come back, grab a gas can. I'm thinking it's out of gas for some reason. Maybe the gas gauge is out or whatever. Go get some gas, put gas in it. It turns over a little bit, enough for us to move it up. I had to push, but we could move it up and get it out of the way so he could back out his vehicles. We ended up talking to the neighbor next door to him, saying, hey, listen, our U-Haul's broken. We're having some help come out. Anyway, so I get a hold of U-Haul after waiting for 2 hours to get through. They send out a tech 2 hours later. He gets there. He checks the dipstick. He's like, man, a lot of times there's no oil in these things. No oil at all. It's like 3.5 quarts low. It takes 5. And my wife was like, no wonder I heard that knocking. I didn't hear it. You know how U-Hauls run. They run like shit usually. Anyway, so then he proceeds to try to start it again after adding some oil to it. Nothing. It was cranking, but it just wasn't turning over. He had 5 gallons of gas. He put 5 gallons more gas in it, nothing. And he's like, I'm betting you it's the fuel pump. So he's back underneath the U-Haul as I'm cranking it. And he's like, I think it's the fuel pump. It's kicking on, but it stops. So needless to say, he's like, but I gotta go. I don't have a fuel pump on my truck. I'm gonna have to go to O'Reilly's, but they're probably closed. So I'm like, what was the purpose of coming out here? I told him it could be gas, it could be fuel pump. I don't know, but those are probably some issues that I would probably bring forward if you're, because you got to tell them what's going on. So about, I don't know, 9:30 probably, they call me and say no, because I wasn't going to stand there. I just went back home. I said, call me when you know, man. They call me and they're like, well, he can't get it running, which I figured, because he already had said if it is the fuel pump, I'm not going to be able to do it. He didn't want to be there anyway. He said he had just sat down with his family at Chili's and he had to go do this, but duty calls, right? Anyway, the point to this whole story is that it's a nightmare to get through to Uhaul. So if you're on the side of the road or like the freeway, or you're on a long journey, you're effed. Because when they call me back, they're like, well, we can send a tow truck. It might take another, couple hours to get you to your final destination, or if you want to switch out the U-Haul or whatever you want to do, just let us know. And I'm thinking to myself, you're damn lucky that I'm at home, or I would be breaking the windows out of this thing. I'd be so angry. Of course, we couldn't get a hold of the owner of the U-Haul. We left a voicemail on there. I don't even know if it's his responsibility, because you just go to U-Haul // and it dials in your location. But if you're literally on like a huge, cross country trip, don't go to one of these little mom and pop shops. Go get a U-Haul that the service is kept up on it. This guy actually told me, the service guy said, listen, those little mom and pop shops, he said, I've been doing this for a long time, they do not take care of their vehicles. And here's the thing, the guy was super nice, no issues. He's, like I said, he said you could keep it till Monday, no charge. But that does me no good when, for one, you ain't keeping the maintenance on it and it breaks down. I'm screwed, And I get it, that it happens. It had about 116,000 miles on it, so we're gonna call today, have it towed, and see if, I feel like they should reimburse me for that. That was a huge inconvenience to me, because we were gonna move more stuff today, because we need to be out of here pretty quick, for sure, by the end of the month. And we both have jobs and they're busy and don't have a lot of time to be taken off. So like I said, if you're even if you're just going across town, go to U-Haul and know that it's service. There's a service contract, and ask them, when was the last time this thing was serviced? Look, usually if you're renting from a particular U-Haul dealer, it'll say when the oil was changed. It has a governor on it. This thing didn't have a governor, didn't have anything where the oil was changed. And it's probably my fault too, because I didn't check. But I'm relying on you that your vehicle, your U-Haul, is good to go. But it just started out crappy. We wanted a 20-footer. They didn't have any. He was going to give us a 26-footer, but I didn't want to get that big of one, because I'm still waiting to move some of our bigger appliances, because they're heavy, and I'm going to need some help with that. But long story short, either go to U-Haul and get a U-Haul, or just hire movers if you can afford it. It's expensive. It's expensive. It's probably, I think you can get 2 men in a truck for like $100 an hour plus whatever their other fee is. I looked, it would have been probably close to $1,000. When you can do something yourself, I just figured doing it. Some people don't think like that, but I do. So yeah, we're stuck. No U-Haul. Luckily, we were just right around the corner from our house. I was hoping we could nurse it home, but no. So we do have some stuff in it. A couple dresser drawers and some chairs, and they're gonna, hopefully the tow truck will just swing around the corner, let us get that stuff out, and be done with it. But it would have been nice to be able to utilize that all day today, get a bunch more stuff, and then just have a little bit left next weekend, and maybe the following weekend. We plan to be in there next weekend, just some of our appliances. But man, what a nightmare. I was so angry. And I'm not the best with dealing with my frustration and anger, especially when you're moving, because moving sucks. So yeah, moral to the story is either go to a actual U-Haul place, not a mom and pop, even though it's probably, I don't blame this guy, but you got to keep the service up on your trucks if you're going to run a side U-Haul business. You can't have no oil in it. 3.5 quarts low, quit it. I do appreciate you guys tuning in and liking and sharing my content, subscribing. There is some updates to the stimulus. Trump was acquitted. Did anybody think he was going to get convicted? I didn't. But it's looking like this stimulus bill isn't going to pass until probably mid-March. If Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, two Democratic senators, if it's going to get through the House, if they vote no in the Senate, it's going to be all bad. So now they're saying, you know, mid-March. So who knows? It's politics. Hopefully it'll get through and the checks will go out quickly, and the unemployment and all the moratorium, everything will be extended and it'll be good to go. But if not, we're going to be waiting around. People that need that money, just, you know, Biden's all about, man, we need to get this done, we need to get this done, we need to get this done. And, you know, they had to submit the budget reconciliation bill because not one Republican senator voted for it. So they need Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin's vote. If not, it's going to be all bad. Anyway, y'all, thanks for tuning in. And remember, it's okay not to be okay. Just don't stay that way. Peace.